Welcome to Inner Light Yoga. This is Karolina. Today we'll move through a sequence of heart-opening asanas. Make sure not to push yourself, listen to your body, and do only as much as is suitable for your level. So when you're ready, get on the mat, and we'll start in Shavasana. Close your eyes and relax. Start to notice your breath. The way it feels in your nostrils, in the chest. Let it become deeper and slower. If it's comfortable, keep your eyes closed. If not, just find a spot on the ceiling on which you can focus. When you're ready, bend your knees and place your hands just in front of your hips. We'll start from a gentle pelvic tilt. So when you're ready, try to move your hips forward, creating a bigger arch in the lower back. And then try to very slowly tilt the pelvis back. So trying to draw your lower back very close down to the floor. Let's do it again. Tilting the pelvis forward, so increasing that arch of the lower back. It's lifting higher off the floor. And then tilting the pelvis back, engaging the lower abdomen, gently drawing the navel in and pressing your lower back into the floor. Let's try to synchronize it with breath. So as you inhale, tilt forward, and as you exhale, tilt back. We'll do it another few times. When you're ready, take your hands to your knees and lift your feet off the floor. Keep your knees together and very slowly start moving them around your hips. So you want to be very gentle and mindful here. Feeling the quality of this movement. Does it feel quite easy? And the same all the way around, or do you feel some stiffness or tension? If you do, slow it down even more. If it feels easy, you may want to start widening those circles. So trying to move your knees a little bit closer to the chest, out, farther away from the body, and again down to the chest. And you can move the other direction. So just massaging the area around the sacrum, creating space in the lumbar spine. Okay, let's step feet to the floor. So the feet are positioned hip distance apart. And you want to take your arms very close towards the chest. try to draw your shoulder blades closer together, opening the chest. And with your next inhalation, vertebra by vertebra, you want to just lift your spine off the floor, trying to take your hips in line with your knees, raising the belly and chest a little bit higher, and then exhaling, starting from the top, from your upper back. You want to slowly release all the way down to the floor. Continue with your breath, so try to really synchronize breath and movement. Again, you can keep your eyes closed, or just find a spot on the ceiling and very gently and softly gaze at it. 3 more rounds. Extend your legs forward, point the toes, take your arms back and take a stretch. Keep breathing, don't hold your breath. And bend your knees again, turn onto your side and find your way up. Okay, from here we'll come into all fours. So with your hands under the shoulders and your knees underneath the hips. Take a deep breath in, release your belly down and lift your chest and tailbone. And as you exhale, release the tailbone, head and round the spine. 5 rounds. Long, deep breaths. Okay, from here let's transition all the way down to the floor. So you can roll over your thighs. Release your belly and chest down. Extend your right arm forward. Leave that arm and your left leg off the floor. Okay, so you want to stretch forward with your arm and back with the leg, creating space and length in the body. Release your hand and leg. Bring your left arm forward and lift your right leg up. Breathe through the nostrils, so just making sure that you are not holding your breath. Stretching forward with the arm, back with the leg. And release. Okay, from here bring your right elbow underneath the shoulder so that your forearm is in line with the top of your mat. We'll stretch fronts of the thighs here. So when you're ready, you want to bend your left knee and hold top of the foot. And just trying to apply a little bit more pressure, very gently pressing your foot down toward the hips. If your foot goes quite low, you may want to start pointing the elbow up to the ceiling. And stay here and breathe another few breaths. And release. We'll move to the other side, holding top of the foot. And gently pressing a little bit more. And release. So bring your chest and head to the floor. Position your hands underneath the shoulders. And try to press your elbows as close to the ribcage as you can. Bring your legs together and press tops of your feet down. Take a deep breath in and lift your chest and head off the floor. Drawing the shoulder blades together, engaging the back muscles. Look forward. We'll just stop in the baby cobra for a moment. Maybe check if you can lift your hands off the floor and try to keep them up for a moment. Just really working on the back muscles. Opening the chest, keeping back of your neck long, gazing forward. One more deep breath. And release. Take your hips all the way back to your heels. Stretch the arms forward and release your head to the floor. 5 deep breaths. Directing each inhalation all the way down into the lower back. Opening up. Okay, when you're ready, lift your hips. And bring your right foot between the hands. Lift your arms and take a hold of your elbows. You can try to draw the shoulder blades to the spine, lift the chest, and take your gaze a little bit higher. Stay here and breathe. When you're ready, release your hands behind the hips, interlace the fingers. Open the chest, engage the back muscles, and look up again. Try to move your arms a little bit further away from the hips. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Okay, and when you're ready, take your left arm up. Leave your right hand on the hip. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently lean down to your right, opening left side of the body. And getting a little bit deeper into the hip flexor. Reach out through the fingertips. Another 3 breaths. Come back up. Release your hands to the floor. Step back to plank. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, lower your knees, chest between the hands, and chin to the floor. Scoop forward to cobra. And then back into all fours. Okay, so we'll place left hand between the hands. Take a deep breath. Lift your arms. Hold the elbows. Sink with the hips a little bit lower. Take your gaze up. Open the chest. Another deep breath. And as you exhale, release your hands behind the hips. Clasp the hands together. Inhale, lift the chest. Move the arms a little bit further away. And when you're ready, lift your right arm, take the left hand to your hip, and very gently lean down to the left. Come back up, release your hands, step back to plank, take a deep breath in, exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin, inhaling to cobra, exhaling into the downward facing dog. You can slowly start releasing your heels towards the floor, breathing in and out through the nose. Okay, when you're ready, look forward, step your right foot to your hands and drop the left knee. And as you inhale, lift your arms. Try to release your hips a little bit lower. Engage the back muscles. So again, draw the shoulder blades towards the spine. Take another deep breath. Feel size of the chest, front of the body. And as you exhale, very gently start moving your heart to the back of the room. And slowly release. Take your hands to the floor. Straighten the front leg and round your back. Come back to the front. Step back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhaling up to cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Okay, so let's step the left foot to the hands. Dropping right knee, lifting the arms. Sinking with the hips a little bit lower. Opening the chest, inhaling. And exhaling, gently leaning back. Release your hands. Straighten the leg around the spine. Come back to the front, hands under the shoulders. Stepping back to plank, deep breath in. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhaling up to cobra. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And exhale, release your knees. Okay, for the next pose, we'll start in the kneeling position. We're going to go for camel pose, which is a quiet, intensive back bend. So you can do only some way down. You don't have to release to the full pose because it's quite intensive. So especially if there is any tension in your spine or for some reasons you just don't want to go for it, do only as much as you feel comfortable with. Okay, so you have two options for your feet. You can either point the toes back, which will give you a little bit more stability, and especially if you're not going for the full expression of the pose, then I would probably leave my feet flat on the floor just to give me a little bit stronger base. You can also curl the toes under, but that definitely will bring more tension to the knees. So if that's the case, you can place a blanket under or even fold your mat. Keep a little bit of space between your knees, about fist distance apart. You want to really engage fronts of your thighs, the quadriceps. So you can even imagine that there is a block between the thighs and you want to squeeze your legs into that block to make sure that your hips will stay exactly above your knees. Okay, so take your hands to the lower back with the fingers pointing down. Engage your legs. And when you're ready, draw the shoulder blades towards the spine and elbows towards each other. Notice how much the chest opens. Take a deep breath and try to lengthen sides of the chest, lifting the upper chest. As you exhale, very slowly start leaning back, keeping your hips on top of the knees. Just looking to the ceiling. And you may want to stay here. And you're getting huge benefits of the pose. Strengthening your back muscles, opening the heart center. If you want to go a little bit farther, take another deep breath in, then lengthen sides of the chest. And then as you exhale, release your right hand down to your heel and bring your left hand down to the other heel. Okay, so you can stay gazing up to the ceiling, or if it's comfortable, you can release your head all the way back. 5 deep breaths. Coming up very slowly and gently, hands back to the lower back. Lifting the chest, releasing your hips down to the heels. And just dropping your chin all the way down to the chest, hands to your thighs. 3 breaths. And we'll go for the child's pose here, so take your hips down to the heels. Stretch your arms all the way forward. Release your belly to the thighs. And release your head down. And slowly lift your chest. And let's finish in Shavasana. Okay, and before we move to our relaxation, I want you just to take your knees to the chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Lift your head off the floor for a moment. Just give yourself a hug. And release. Allow your feet to fall to the sides. Soften your knees. Lift your hips off the floor for a moment. Move them a little bit forward. And then release. So just trying to create a little bit more space in the lumbar spine. Moving your arms out. Have your palms facing up. Shoulders relaxed and heavy. Eyes closed. Letting go of control of the posture, of the breath, and just observing your body. Becoming still. Finding your breath without making any changes, just observe it. If you have time, you may want to stay longer in Shavasana. If you want to finish now, just first focus on your toes and fingers. Very gently wiggle them. Take your arms all the way back. Join your legs together. Point the toes. Take a stretch. And turn onto your side. Take another 3 to 5 breaths. When you're ready, find your way up to the seated position. Thank you for joining me today. If you like the videos, please leave a comment, thumb up, or subscribe to my channel. Your support is very appreciated. Thank you very much again. Namaste.